Hi class, this is course 2, lesson 19 on perimeter. So perimeter is the distance around a polygon. We talked about polygons yesterday in lesson 18, how we have a closed figure made of segments that is flat and two-dimensional. So we're going to figure out what the distance is around that shape now. Formulas that you need to know. For a triangle with sides A, B, and C, P, that P stands for perimeter. So P equals A plus B plus C. So that's just taking the perimeter equals, add up the three sides. Okay? In a rectangle, we use L and W to represent the length and the width. And so there's three formulas that we can use. We can add up all the sides, take the length plus the width plus the length plus the width. Or we can take 2 times the length and take 2 times the width and then add those two together. Or we can add the length and the width together and multiply by 2. In a square, the sides are all the same. So we have 4 sides. It's a quadrilateral with 4 sides that are the same. So our perimeter can equal S plus S plus S plus S, or it can equal 4 times S. So we're going to take that side length times 4. Now, one other thing that you should know is that our units are just units. Okay, so if we have dimensions in centimeters, our answer will just be in centimeters. Okay, that it's not squared, it's not cubed, it's just units. Okay. Answer in the units that are known. Okay, so let's calculate the perimeter. Okay, calculate perimeter. So first you need to figure out what type of shape. Perimeter. Okay, so figure out which shape you have, which polygon you have. This is a quadrilateral. It's a rectangle. So I can use the formula that is on the other sheet. So it's going to be P equals, and which one do you want to use? That's up to you. I like this one, or this one. Depends on what numbers I have. I use them interchangeably. But they're more efficient than just adding up length plus width plus length plus width. So I'm going to use 2 times 18 plus 2 times 4. And I should mention that it's a good idea to write down the formula first before you do anything. Then use parentheses where you're going to substitute the values in, and then simplify. So our perimeter is going to equal 2 times 18. I know that's 36, plus 2 times 4 is 8. And when I add them up, I get 44. And then what units were we in? We were in inches. So this example is perimeter is 44 inches. Okay, the next example, we have a square and the sides are 12 feet. So I know that the formula for perimeter of a square is P equals 4S. So then I'm going to substitute 12 for S, and I get P equals 48, and then my units were feet. Okay. Next we have, what is the perimeter of this regular pentagon? Okay, now this is going to be one of those examples that you'll want to know where it is, because it seems like you'll have a lot of problems with regular pentagon, hexagon, whatever it is, and we get tripped up on it. So remember that regular means all the sides are congruent. It also means all angles are congruent, but we don't need to know that for this problem. If they tell me that one of the side lengths is 7 centimeters and I know it's a regular pentagon, then I know that all of the side lengths are 7 centimeters. Pentagon I know has 5 sides, can also tell because they drew the figure for me. However, they won't do that for every problem, so you need to know how many sides you have. So in this case, my perimeter would be 5 sides times 7 centimeters per side. So perimeter is going to equal 35, and then what units were we in? We were in centimeters, so that's your answer. Same thing as if we said, well, this is 7, and this is 7, and this is 7, and this is 7. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 is the same thing as 5 times 7. Okay, so what happens if you know the perimeter and you need to find a side length? Well, we need to work backwards. Okay, let's see how that works. The perimeter of a square is 20 millimeters. How long is each side of the square? So what I like to do is I like to draw or sketch a square, and then I like to tell or note what I know. So the perimeter equals 20 millimeters. Well, we're talking about a square, and so I know that the side length is S. And I also know that my formula for calculating perimeter was P equals 4S. So I know that my perimeter, when this is done, I'm going to have 4S equals 20 millimeters. Okay, so I just took what I knew. I knew that perimeter was 20 millimeters, and if P equals 20 millimeters, then I can put 20 millimeters in where P is. I can substitute that in. That's my answer. So how do I solve this problem? Well, I'm missing a factor, so I divide by 4. So S has to equal 5 millimeters. Okay, now, what I can do is I can check. Okay, I can go over here and say, well, if perimeter equals 4 times S, if my side length is 5, is 4 times 5, P equals 20 millimeters. Well, that's what they said it was to start with, so I know I'm right. Okay, so you can do that. Check your work. It's a good habit to get into. One more. This is the last one for today. We're going to calculate the perimeter. Now, perimeter is to add up all the sides. Now, this isn't a complex figure. It's not one that I have a formula for. But let's just say I start here and I go all the way around. So I would add 3 plus 7 plus 12 plus 5. If all I did was took the side lengths that were labeled, 3 plus 7 plus 12 plus 5, did I do the perimeter? Did I calculate the perimeter? Did I go all the way back to where I started? The answer is no. I didn't. I need to know how long this side is and how long this side is. So I have to use a little logic or a little reasoning here. So let's take a look at this vertical length here. If I were to make this a rectangle, if I were to continue this down here, this side from, let's see if this will work, from here, oops, that's not going to work. Maybe it doesn't work. Nope. Interesting. I was trying to highlight it. So I'll go, I'll use black ink here. So from here, oh, now it's going to work. Oh, I see. Okay, so from here to here, okay, that length and this length would have to be the same. Do you see that? So since this length would have to be 7, the total, the black line has to be 7, but from here to here is already 5. This is really the length 7 minus 5, so it's 2 inches. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does, and if not, please let me know tomorrow so that I can help you. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this guy here. Okay, let's see if I can clean up some of this. Now, okay, so we know that that side length there is 2 inches. So now we need to do the same thing going this way, the horizontal distance. Okay, so the horizontal distance from here all the way across, if I did that, would have to match this one down here, right? So that length is 12. This length has to be 12, but I already know this piece up here is 3. So if this is 3 here, and this whole thing has to be 12, this side is really 12 minus 3, which equals 9 inches. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of all my highlights that I just did. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of that because that's a little confusing. Okay, so we know now that the two missing side lengths that we have to add in are this length here, 9, and this length here, which is 2. Now we can add them all up. So 3 plus 7 is 10. 12 plus 5 is 17, and 9 plus 2 is 11. 10 plus 17 is 27, plus the 11 is 38. Now, what were my units? They were inches, so that is the perimeter, or the distance around that polygon, 38 inches. Now, what would I classify this polygon as by sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be a hexagon. Now it doesn't look like a hexagon that you maybe are thinking of, but that's okay. It still has 6 sides, so it is a hexagon. Okay, this is going to be an area where we make some mistakes, so make sure that you star this or go through it. I know that you'll have a problem like that in the assignment, so if you have questions, please let me know. All right, I'll see you in class.